And so now I'm pregnant, so it's like,
oh my gosh.
before people were like, oh, questioning if I was even having sex, or like, is that a thing for people with disabilities? And to say, yeah, it's a thing, it happens.
And how has it been? How has your pregnancy been so far?
Everything's fine. I find out the sex on Thursday, so I'm excited for that. And there's this whole idea of, because I had a stroke, the idea of pushing out a baby might be a little strenuous for me, and the condition that I have might bring about another stroke, and I'm a high risk, so they've been monitoring me more frequently than the average pregnant woman.
In the U.S., there are over 1 million women with disabilities that are of childbearing age. Up until this point, there's been little data released on women with disabilities and their pregnancies.
Oh, she might. What if she starts kicking around? When
She might. She's usually chill when I get chill, though, so.
That's good.
We got to hear the heart rate early on. We got to see the flashing flicker with the first ultrasound. So to see the light flashing and then to go from like sight to sound has been really cool. And it's just, her heart rate is quick and mine is too, because I have sickle cell. So it's like she's in a race with me sometimes. So it's like, okay, so when I calm down, she calms down, and then when I'm active, she's active. So that's maybe the most discomfort, is that when I'm walking around, maybe like down a hallway, she'll start and reposition herself, and it's like, can we move one at a time?
Tell me a little bit about some of the considerations that, you as a woman with a disability are preparing for as being a mother.
They're trying to figure out the birthing method, because I have damage from the stroke. They don't know if pushing would be a little too stressful, or should they just go to straight C-section.
Are you scared at all to give birth?
I'm not. I feel like it's gonna be easy for whatever reason. I don't think it's gonna, maybe because there wasn't any like complications with her up to this point, so I think it's just gonna be, she's gonna slip and slide out. That's my hope. Women are supposed to carry the babies, so disabled, non-disabled, your body's gonna do what it needs to do. And I think the biggest misinformed fact is that, oh, because people with disabilities are reproducing, we'll have more people with disabilities, but it's not a thing, because my disability happened while I was in college. How you get disabled is not a product of two disabled people having a baby. Once a week, we're doing an ST, so that's no stress test. So they kind of just let me hang out in a chair for 20 minutes and test like the motion and heart rate of baby.
In high-risk pregnancies, it may be necessary to incorporate input from a different specialist. It may be important to get additional screening for the baby. It may be necessary to get additional screening for mom. Making plans, scheduling her induction at a time when it's most feasible for the pediatrician who may need to do surgery on this baby at the time of delivery, or feasible for a time when the correct surgeons are going to be in the hospital who are able to accommodate that particular patient. Generally, our high-risk patients fall into three categories. Sometimes moms are high risk because they have long-standing chronic conditions. Then we have women who come to our office because their babies have high-risk issues. So perhaps they were on an ultrasound and noticed an anomaly. They get referred to us. And then finally, patients who were our patients in prior pregnancies, they come back to us because you form those relationships.
Research, including a national survey from the Baylor College of Medicine, shows women with disabilities face barriers in getting the same level of medical care as women without disabilities, even though they were more likely to see medical providers in the first place. This is especially true when it comes to reproductive care. Women with disabilities found it harder to get cancer screenings or access to birth control. Women with disabilities in the survey also said it was hard to find medical providers who would see them throughout their pregnancy.
At the end of the day, we have to understand that these women who have disabilities are still women who are pregnant. And you can't get blinded by whatever else is going on so that you can allow them to enjoy the pregnancy, because that's the exciting part.
Hi,
How do you think you're going to feel when you get your baby?
I think I might cry, actually, because I'm not really a sensitive person, but seeing this thing that's been growing in me and making noise and movements, I think I might cry.
I know a lot of people when they're pregnant crave interesting combinations. Are there anything that you have craved?
It was pickles at first, and then it was steak and chicken, and now I'm on to ravioli.
And what would you want people to know about mothers with disabilities and women with disabilities biologically carrying a child?
I want them to know that it's not any different from any other person who carries a child, except that there may be limitations, so I might have to sit down a few more times per day, or just decide when, okay, it's time to just go to sleep, because I might be more fatigued than usual. But I don't think that's different from normal pregnancies. That's where Lauren's getting her name and bought her a little mini polo.
Oh my goodness.